have real talk. Let's have real talk. Talk. With your girl, Bev the Real Boss. Let's have real talk. Let's have real talk. With your girl, Bev.
All right, welcome. We're here with Bev Da Real Boss. Welcome.
Yes.
How are you doing today?
Man, I'm awesome. I'm awesome, Sino, as always.
Man, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. So, Bev, tell us who Bev the Real Boss is.
Man, it's a lot to tell about your girl, Bev, the Real Boss. Not the little one, but most definitely the big one. So, first and foremost, I'm a serial entrepreneur. Um, I've been self employed since the age of 25 years old. I started my first business as a daycare owner. I was a school teacher. So, I graduated from National Louis University, Daly College, right here in Chicago, Illinois. And as I was working these jobs, I knew early on in my life that I did not want to work for anyone. So I decided to open up my own school. And from there, I took off.
So, how did the Real Boss come about? The Real Boss.
So the real boss came about was because I found myself opening up multiple businesses and helping other entrepreneurs open up their business as well. So I was like, you know what? I know I am the real boss because I'm pouring into others and I'm doing things that people did not do for me. Not that I was looking for that, but it's like that's how I became Bill the real boss.
Wow. Okay. So, um, tell us about your journey from beginning and how you became uh, a serial entrepreneur.
So I became a serial entrepreneur because, like I said, I originally opened up a daycare. I was like 25 years old. I had graduated from college. I decided I wanted to make a change within my community. So I had my daycare within the heart of Inglewood. I didn't grow up in Inglewood. I grew up on the low end, 27th and State, Dearborn Homes. And once I ventured out and I decided to open up my own business, it's like I wanted to help the community. I felt that it was a need to help the community because I was a young mother. I had my first child at 16 years old. And then I turned around and I had my second child. So I was a teen mom. So I felt that it was a need to help the community. So that's the ultimate reason why I started my daycare.
Okay. So, being in self-employed, an entrepreneur for 25 years, what changes have you seen in from 25 years ago to now? What are
So,
some of the things that impacted
so are
that
you
journey?
asking me about myself or are you just asking
Just
me
about business,
in
about how
business?
you operate and things like that.
Okay, so first and foremost, I wasn't always professional. And I tell people that all the time. When I have young ladies or people inquire to me and be like, you're so dope. I love what things that you do. I'm a very honest person. Like that's one thing that a person can get from me. I'm gonna always be honest. I'm not gonna lie and tell you, oh, I just came became Bev the real boss overnight. I wasn't always professional. Imagine me 25 years old having a daycare and having two young children running around. So the professionalism wasn't always there. But as I grew and I started learning the attributes of business and the maturity came, that's when I became more professional. So that is one of the reasons why I do not get on Facebook, to each his own, when people like they have a bad experience with a black owned establishment. I'm not one of those ones that will get on social media and bash them and make a bad review about them. I'm the type of person like this. I will hit them up directly and say, you know what? I'm not trying to tell you what to do with your business or how to run your business, but this is the experience that I had with you, and I did not like it. And I'll leave it just that. I'm not going to get on social media and bash them because, again, I'm not perfect. We're not perfect. No one is perfect. So I would prefer to give a person a pull up before I go on social media and bash them.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. So what advice would you give someone who's watching this that's maybe looking to that has a job that may be looking to transform over into entrepreneurship?
So fear, number one. You cannot be in fear or doubt yourself, because I'm gonna be honest with you, like, again, I used to be a school teacher because I'm college, I have a college degree. I left my job on good faith without without thinking how I was going to survive. But you have to understand in your mind that, you know what, I'm going to believe in myself. The same way we believe in these other companies, you have to take that same energy and believe in yourself and say, you know what, I got this. And I'm going to take my gifts and my talents and I'm going to put it inside of me. So that's one of the biggest things. You cannot have doubt about yourself.
Yeah, yeah. So, how do you stay motivated? Because I know entrepreneurship, business, you have your peaks and valleys, your ups and downs. And you have things that you can't even control, things like, COVID and things like that that happened where the whole world was shut down. So, how do you stay motivated, through the ups and downs of
So I'm
entrepreneurship?
gonna I'm be real with you though, like, and I'm a very transparent person. Like, I grew up like in a household that was kind of like negative, and so as I continue to grow with being a mother and being a person in leadership, because I've always been that way, I try to see the good thing, the good side in everything that I do. And I know things are gonna go, they're gonna spiral out. However, I try to remain focused and motivated and say, you know what, there is something that's gonna come good out of this situation. So that's how I take my approach on life.
Yeah. Do you think entrepreneurship is for everybody?
I do not think that entrepreneurship is for everybody. I actually did a video about this a couple of years ago during the pandemic. I feel like, a lot of people decided that they were going to take their talents and they were going to turn it into a business. So the one thing about me is though, I'm a very grounded woman. I know what's for me and I know what's not for me. So I don't insert myself, and that's just me personally, in things, people, places, or things, let me correct myself, that are not for me. So if I feel like that is something that is not, that I cannot take on, I'm not going to do it. But where there are others that be like, you know what? Oh, I see this person doing that. I can cook. Let me open up a restaurant. It's a lot that becomes behind opening up a restaurant. There's a lot that becomes behind being a decorator. There's a lot that becomes behind being a promoter, being an entrepreneur. So I think people look at the money side of it. They don't look at the hard work and the diligence behind being an entrepreneur.
Mm. And that kind of leads me to my next question. What's maybe some of the biggest misconceptions of being an entrepreneur, being a boss? Because people think that you just, life is just good and that millions and millions are flowing in. And
Absolutely.
so, what's some of the biggest misconceptions of being
The
a
number
boss?
one misconception is, and I'm going to please, I have to say this, and I hope everyone takes this and they learn from this. Business owners are not rich, okay? It's something called capital, okay? That's number one. If you do not have a proper business funding to bag your business up, you have to utilize your own personal money, okay? Which means your savings, okay? So with that being said, what if it is a person that's using their personal money? They're not rich. They're using their savings and investing into a business that they don't know whether or not it's going to succeed or not. So they're taking a chance on that. So please stop thinking that business owners are rich, okay? People have expenses. That's what it's called. It's called expenses. They have payroll, they have staff, and so on and so forth. So, no, people that are in business, they are not rich. So please remove that from your mindset, because I'm definitely not rich, okay?
Hmm.
I am definitely not rich, okay? I'm working
Well,
hard
you
just like
rich,
the
you
next.
rich in spirit and in friends
Absolutely.
and just
Absolutely.
your energy and the ideas
Absolutely.
that you come up with. You are definitely, you're not rich, you're wealthy. You have a
Exactly.
wealthy
And
spirit.
I appreciate that, Sino.
Yes,
Yes. And
yes,
check
yes.
Sino out. Yes. This is my main man. Yes. Please check him out.
No
And I
doubt.
and I and I take that wholeheartedly. I am rich in spirit
Yes, you are.
because I'm not looking to be, well, we all want to be rich, but at the same time though, I prefer to be rich in heart than
Yes.
having that physical dollar. And that's just me.
Yeah. Um, It's 25 years in being an entrepreneur. What if you could go back 10 years, what advice would you give yourself 10 years ago? If you could.
So I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I was a partier, right? And I used to and I still am. I ain't gonna lie, I still am a partier. But it's just at this older age, I know how to detach myself from certain people, certain things, and certain places. But if I had advice for anyone that was starting off and they were popular and they were just all, whether they were in the streets or not, you have to always remain professional, remain who you are, and you cannot have a bad name out here. Like if you're doing, especially when it comes for people that when you start hearing things like someone is scamming, they're stealing, people absolutely do not want to associate with that. And I'm not going to focus on that part, but I would just say remain who you are, but most of all, be professional because people hold on to that. They don't care if so one thing about our culture, we have to be honest with each other. You could have done something when you were 15. You would look up, you're 40 years old. They still talking about it.
Yeah,
That's just what people do.
yeah,
You understand what I'm saying? So no one is saying that you have to live a life of perfection, but you have to still walk accordingly in front of others.
absolutely, absolutely. Man, so recently you and your business partner, Two Official, hosted the Black Excellence Awards. What was the vision behind the Black Excellence Awards, the BEA, and why was it so important for you to create this platform?
So the vision behind the BA Awards, again, me and Two Official, we started off doing pop-up shops together. And we felt the need that and the urgency that we felt like that our people need to be acknowledged. We're watching these entrepreneurs, these small owned business owners, they're dragging their tote boxes, they're setting up their tables. Whether people believe that or not, that's a lot of work, okay? That is a lot of work. Labor, let's start there. And then on top of that, you have to invite people out to shop with you. So we felt the need, especially when COVID hit, when the world shut down. It's like, you know what? This can happen at any given time. We have to give our people their flowers because they're not giving their flowers. And we feel that they need to be acknowledged for the hard work that they're doing. These people are some of these entrepreneurs are getting off work, they're leaving their children at home, they're dragging their items around just to make ends meet. You understand what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
that was very imperative to me. So when we both started noticing that, we like, you know what? It's time to start giving back to them because people are taking out their time and their energy to come and be a part of this event. We have to give them something back. And that's one of the number one reasons why I'm not one of those ones who charge $100 to $200 for pop-up shops. I'm not knocking anyone who does that because your overhead is your overhead. But I try to give back and I always try to give back because I was one of them type of people. I was a young mother and I understand my family helped me out a lot, especially my dad's side of the family with raising my children. So I try to pay forward to people and be like, you know what? It's a need for help because I had that type of help growing up.
Yeah. Wow. So, and by the way, I did attend this last BEA Awards. It was excellent. And so, packed house, definitely. Are you guys doing it again next year? Is this a
So
yearly event?
absolutely, we are going to do it next year. It is. We founded this event actually in 2020, and we have been doing it ongoing. So for those, excuse me, who did experience a little um a little disarray within the event, I definitely apologize for that because that's not the way that we patronize our events. And I appreciate you, Sino, for having my back wholeheartedly. I totally appreciate you. Shouts out to my main man, Two Official. That's my partner. And we're gonna continue to patronize black-owned establishments and business because we need that. We need that within our community. We need to get the flowers that we deserve.
Yeah.
And that's just that.
Yeah. Well, as we know, and even in the big events, the superstars, celebrity events, we, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. So we know that things
Exactly.
happen. We know that things
Exactly.
happen
Exactly.
at events. So things that you can't control. But
But
we
I
know
ain't gonna
where
lie to
your
you,
heart
saying though,
is.
is like I appreciate you saying what my heart is. I'm just such a perfectionist. I like things to be a certain type of way. But like you said, things are not gonna go as planned. You know what I'm saying? But at
Mhm.
the same time, it's just I know I give my heart, my soul, and my body to things that I do, and it's coming from a genuine place. So for us to be able to bring over 225 people out, that just was enough for me. And I
That's
know my
great.
partner felt the same way. And how I know that it was 225 people because we had 225 chairs and there was no more seating.
Oh yeah,
So
people were
that right
standing up.
there, it
Yes.
spoke volumes to me as a person, as an entrepreneur, and saying, you know what, this is my way of giving back.
Wow. Wow. So what goes on behind the scenes of an event of this magnitude? What are some of the things, the challenges that you face maybe like the day of putting on an event like
So
this?
it's the last minute things. It's like the last minute things. When you're dealing with a huge major event, and so first of all, let me be honest with you. I don't like doing those big events. That's my partner. That's his thing. That is his thing. That is not my thing. But he would tell me, official like Bev, let's do it. You have to do it. That's not my thing. But you know what? I'm a team player. That's one thing about Bev. I'm a team player. So I'm going to roll with the punches. Okay? You said we're going to do it. We're going to do it just like that. We're going to get the job done. So it's always like the little small, little minor things that can make an event go left. But you have to still remain focused and you have to still remain professional.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I look forward to next year's event, and of course, I'm sure we all do. Moving on, let's talk about women in business because I know that you're an advocate for not just black-owned business, but women entrepreneurs as well. So, as a female entrepreneur, woman entrepreneur, what kind of are some of the things that women face that you've seen women face in a male-dominated business world?
So one thing about women, some women, I'm not saying all women, they're very catty. They're very competitive. So they'll sit there and they'll see your event on social media and they'll try to create something similar. They choose to compete over collaboration. And that doesn't work for me because one thing about me, I'm a genuine person. Like I've always said, I'm not perfect, but I'm a genuine person. If I go into a situation with a person, I'm going to go into that situation or that business endeavor with an open heart, with an open mind, and let's collaborate. It's not no big eyes and little U's, okay? Let's meet at a medium so that we can get the job done. So that's one of the number one things that I have saw with women. Um, Culture doesn't matter. Women are very competitive. They do. They are. They are very competitive. And they don't understand the dynamics of it. There is enough money for everyone to make out here. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I started decorating like in 2000 and like maybe 15. Now, remind to tell you before I took it professionally, I've always decorated. I've always did birthday parties for my children. And so I'm gonna be honest. My son's 16th birthday. I said, you know what? I'm not paying nobody to do my son's 16th birthday. I'm going to do this myself because I know that I'm a very creative person. So I did my son's birthday party, and I think like certain people probably feel a certain type of way. Like that's simple minded. You have to break that mindset because what I'm doing, how is that affecting you? How is that affecting you? Like at one point, my daycare was literally across the street from another daycare. And I knew that before I bought that house. But do you think that I was not going to purchase that house because I'm like, this lady has a daycare? What she's doing has nothing to do with Beverly. That's my real name, by the way. Anyway, I don't look at situations from that perspective. What God has for me, God has for me. And only I can destroy or uplift that situation. You know what I'm saying?
Come on now. Come
Like
on now.
seriously, we have to
I love
stop
it.
that.
Yeah.
Stop trying to compete with people. Like I don't do that. That's just me though. I'm not competing with anybody. If I see you
Yeah.
doing something that's nice and I feel like it's adding value to all of us as being an entrepreneur, honestly, I would buy a ticket. I would come out and support But what I'm not gonna do is hate on you and be jealous because, oh, she's doing the same thing that I'm doing. I don't care about any of that, okay? Because like I said, what's Beverly is what's for Beverly,
Yeah.
and that's just that.
Yeah, I definitely feel the passion behind that question, that answer. Um, and speaking of passion, how do you balance as a mother, a friend, a woman in business, entrepreneur? How do you balance your personal time and your business time? Is there a balance?
So you know what? I had to teach myself balance. That's the thing. I had to literally teach myself balance because I used to be all over the place, all over the place.
Used to be.
Kind of is sometimes. Touche, touche. But I'm getting better. I'm
No,
getting
I
better.
no, you got great energy.
In my defense, I have gotten better. So first and foremost, my number one job is being a mother. I'm gonna always be a mother. I have 4 children, and they are my number one job. I have 2 grown children and 2 children that are still under the age of 18. So they're gonna always be my first priority. So if anything's going on, I don't care if anything with my businesses are going on and it stops. I'm stopping everything when it comes for them. Okay. So I have to be a mother first. Okay. Um, I have to just make sure that I create a balance for myself and get the proper people in place to make sure that, Bev, you have to balance your own personal life, your relationship, and your businesses. So I'm getting better with that. I am. I am for sure.
Yeah, I ask that to a lot of entrepreneurs, and the answer is normally about the same, you
It,
know.
and then guess what? Like my daughter, my 11-year-old, like she's going for acting. Very talented young child. Shouts out to 2Q Fashion in the building. Baby Derica, she's very talented. So a lot of her business endeavors consume a lot of my life because I'm going to always make sure that I patronize and encourage my child to be greater than me. So I just have created a little small system to have a balance for my personal life as well as my family and my business.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you, do you encourage your children to be entrepreneurs, and of course, as business owners, that you can hire them and write them off on your tax. They can be
Right.
part of your a tax write off.
So again, like I said, I'm a realist, right? So I'm not one of those type of mothers that force my children to do things. If I see certain things within my children, like my oldest son, he has dramatic drip. That's his clothing line, right? He was like 17 years old. This is something that he decided to do. He came up with the name. He said, Mom, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to sell and things of that nature, right? So I supported him to the best of my ability. My daughter, she's been braiding hair and doing hair since she was like maybe 11 years old. So every year, true story, she would ask me and her dad and my sister and my mom to bow her head down. And I'm not gonna lie, during that time, I didn't think anything of it. But I looked up, the young lady was braiding everywhere. So now
Mm,
she's a stylist. So what I did was, she graduated from high school. I asked her, what are you gonna do? I knew that she was college bound, but I said, what are you gonna do at this moment? I opened up her a salon. She had a salon. She graduated from the hair school, 83rd and Dame Green. I can't think of the name of the school, but I supported her. And what she did was she later on moved out of Chicago. She said because she couldn't deal with Chicago, they hate us, and I understand that she's young. So I'm the type of parent like this. I support what my if my child said this is something that they want to do, I support it. I don't force them to do anything. Now, baby girl, she's every bit of me. That's my twin. She's energetic. She want it all. And so I don't have to do too much with her. Y'all saw our TikToks.
yeah, yeah, yeah. She's amazing, definitely.
Thank you so much, Sino.
Yeah. So who are some of the women in business or entertainment that inspire you along your journey?
So I'm gonna be honest. I have to give shouts out to the people that are in Chicago because I'm about my city. I'm about patronizing Black women. So one of the women that inspired me would be Midget. Like we came from the same area. We grew up in the same area. Very professional on hair salons, been on Essence and things of that nature. So that's one of the number one people that have inspired me throughout Chicago because she's doing it
Yeah,
and we see her doing it.
yeah. No, that's awesome, and shout out to her. And so just me, doing what I do and being in business. Um, it seems like it's been a boom in women entrepreneurs over the last few years. I almost call it a renaissance area where women are just really bossing up.
They are.
Yeah,
They
really
are.
bossing up. So, where do you see women in business in the next 5 to 10 years?
I see them progressing even more. It's like and it's so crazy that you touched on that. It's like the Renaissance. It's a movement. You are absolutely correct with that. It's like I don't know what COVID did. It kind of was a blessing and a curse. I will say that because it's like people took their talents and they turned them into businesses and they say, you know what, it's time for us to boss up. And I saw that from different age groups, younger, um, older. I saw that from different age groups. So
Yeah.
yes, you are not lying. I see it continuing. I see the journey continuing to grow.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it's things that I'm seeing from women like you guys created your own ecosystem with
Absolutely.
with the styling and the facials and the people getting the massages and all of the spa type of treatments that just seemed like it just came out of nowhere.
Absolutely. It did. It
you
did.
know
It
and
did
uh and
appear
so
that
shout
way.
out. So yeah, fellas, we gotta step our game up.
Clock
So
that, huh?
yeah.
Definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah, so a few more questions and we can wrap it up. But let me ask you this: if you weren't doing business or entertainment, what would you be doing if you weren't doing this?
So partying. I'm gonna be honest with you. I told you I'm very transparent. Uh, I don't know what I would be doing without business. I know one thing: I'll be partying and having a time. I'm a very vibrant person. I love to live my life. Um, I don't care about the opinions of others. So I'll probably be just somewhere on different islands, traveling to different cities, and just making my just continue to grow as a person, as a mother, as a friend, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. Eh, so what type of habits or routines or things that you do to maintain the level of success? Like, I mean, are you into like personal development, keeping your mind right, your associations? How do what do you do on a daily basis to keep that
So this what I
success
started doing. I'm
mindset?
so glad you asked that. Say no. So listen, at this big old age, this is what I started doing. I started noticing that, like, when you wake up, that determines the first part of your day. So if I'm in a bad mood that morning, I have to redirect my behavior. So what I started doing for myself is I would pray in the morning. I would give thanks to God for waking me up in the morning, right? After that, I would eat breakfast. And I know it appears to be something that's small, but I never was a person that ate breakfast. I never liked eating breakfast. I was one of those chip eating people in the morning. Like I'll grab me a bag of chips or grab me a snack. So it's like I say, you know what? And I would take a shower in the morning. It manifests as my mind, my soul, my body. And I'm one of the type of people like I kind of suffer from anxiety. When I'm doing too much, I get like overwhelmed because I'm overstimulated, right? So I'm learning to take things and take life with a salt in the grain. So I'm moving slower now. I'm not moving fast. I'm not trying to be all over the place. So I'm going to eat my breakfast at this time. My day starts at 6 o'clock every morning.
Mm.
I wake my kids up for school. They get dressed. I ask them, "You have a good day? How you feeling this morning? Did you go to bed in like and feeling a certain type of way or things of that nature?" So what I do is it's like I've set the tone for my mood that's going to create my mood for the entire day.
Yeah. Wow. That's great, man. Well, I mean, as we wrap up, I got one last question for you, and then you can share any closing remarks that you want to share with the people. But uh, what's the legacy of Bev, the real boss, the big
So
one, not the
the
little one?
most definitely the big one, not the little one.
Most
So
definitely.
honestly speaking, though, like I do this for my children. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do this for my children. This ain't about me. This ain't about me though. I'm creating generational wealth for my children. So I want to leave my children with something so that they can leave their children with something and they can leave their children with something. So that's what it is for me. It's about foundation. It's about setting a plateau. It's about setting a tone for my family. And that's just where I'm at with it.
Wow, wow. Man, well, it's been definitely a pleasure sitting down with you. Is there any last things you want to share?
So one of the last thing I want to share with you guys, like if you're an entrepreneur, do not give up. Do not give up. Do not give up on yourself. Believe in yourself. There's going to be times, it's going to be hard times, but do not give up. I don't care if no one shares or like your post because that's the world we live in right now, social media. You could be the worst person on earth, but if you got a million followers, you're that person. People don't get to know people for who they are nowadays. They get to know people off of likes and dislikes. So, one of the things I want to leave with you guys is be genuine, be who you are, and remain who you are, and your life is going to go this way and not that way. It's your girl, Bev, the real boss, not the little one, but most definitely big one. We out.
There you have it.